What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Welcome back. Hopefully you all had a nice, relaxing weekend because you're going to need it. From the look of the markets right now, it looks like the markets are red. First of all, to everybody who's into the chat so early, good morning. Welcome to the chat. Hopefully you all have some tea or coffee or something, whatever your favorite morning beverage is, to drink with me. Mine is still a little too hot, so I don't know if I'll be drinking it just yet. But, man, the markets are not looking too good. In fact, if you look at them, they're pretty darn red. We're almost down to the lows that we were seeing during the last crash that people were talking about, right? We're almost down to the same lows. If we get down another buck or two, then we're pretty much as low as we were. And you can tell by looking at the VIX, it's up 20% a ton. And first of all, before we really get started, good morning, Ambition. Good morning, Silver, Tim Boone. Good morning, Austin, Libby, and Rocky Mountain Cobblers. There we go. Welcome, everybody who's super early to the chat. Good to see you all. Hopefully you all had a good weekend. You're probably going to need it because the markets are moving down. If you take a peek in basically a straight line right here, the markets are not far off from their lows that we saw earlier during the last crash. So it's not looking great for the markets overall. We've moved down pretty darn quickly. It's almost like we rebounded just for the sake of making new highs and then started moving down. So we'll see what happens when the market opens, when we actually have some real volume coming in. But if it goes how the pre-market went, then things aren't looking too good. We basically just dropped off and then started trending down, and we've recovered a little bit over the past hour or so. And good morning, Eric and Rich M and Worlza. Good morning, everybody. The markets are red as we look at them now, and cryptos are red too. We're going to look at those in a minute, but they're pretty red. It's looking like even the dollar, if we pull the dollar up, the dollar itself is red also. So the dollar's not been doing good. The markets haven't been doing good. Crypto hasn't been doing good. Gold hasn't even been moving that much. It's been pretty stagnant. So where is all the money going, right? Where is the money going? It's just disappearing, it seems, because everything is moving down, including the dollar. So weird to see. Strange. You would think something would be moving up, but it seems like pretty much everything is moving down. I mean, the VIX is moving up. The VIX is pretty much the only thing that's green. It's up about 20%. So other than that, I mean, that's pretty much the only green I can see in this market. It's right there up 19.18%. So if you'd bought some options on the VIX, then you'd be in the green. But other than that, it's not looking good. And Sub-Zero says buy more AMC. I think that we might get a nice buying opportunity on AMC if it goes along with the market. It's already dropped a little bit. I think it's already a little bit below, potentially below where I bought it. We'll see what happens when the market opens. It might drop a little bit more. And let's see. Good morning, Greg Taylor. And Worlds says, I have your Safe Moon V2. Wow. V1 is old news. Interesting. I have no idea what V1 or V2. I'm guessing version 1, version 2. I'll have to look into it. And I still have to look into how to get that wallet world size. Still have to look into that. So we'll see. There's the one crypto that's not bleeding. Have you seen Yarn? YFI, the one crypto. I'll take a peek at it real quick. YFI. Yearn Finance. Interesting. Yeah, it looks like it's up. And it looks like it's a really expensive coin. It costs about $35,000 per coin. And it's up about $3,000 or 10% per coin today. So, interesting stuff. I've never heard of it. But it looks like it just had a big rebound off of some lows that it was hitting over the past 3 months. So that's interesting. And it started at what, $900, and now it's at $35,000. And at its peaks, it was at $82,000. Jeez, that's awesome. That's awesome. Wow. So yeah, I've never heard of Yearn Finance before, but it looks interesting enough. I'll go back to the main cryptocurrencies page, and we'll take a peek at those in a second. But we've got some news from CNBC, and if you take a look at CNBC, you'll see why they say the markets are falling. They say Dow futures fall 400 points on Omicron fears. Now, maybe that's the case. Maybe the stock people are actually selling off all their shares just because they want to create more fear because of Omicron. Maybe they're actually worried about Omicron. Who knows? It's possible. And if you take a look, I pulled up the CDC data, and it looks like it is on the rise. If you look at the number of cases, we peaked out way back. When was that? In January of 2021 actually, and then we dipped a ton, and then we came back right afterwards around September, And then we started dipping again. That was when Delta came out, when we initially started moving back up. And now Omicron is out, and it looks like case counts are moving up again. And this is number of cases reported daily in the United States. So it looks like maybe some of those fears are founded if they're really worried about all these cases, but it doesn't seem like Delta, when we had even more cases than we had now, had too much of an impact. So I'm not sure if you can write it all off and say it's Omicron fears causing all of this downturn in the market. I'm not so sure about that. I don't know. I mean, CNBC seems to think so. At least that's what they're saying. They're also talking about potentially raising interest rates, right? They're worried about raising interest rates. So that could be another reason why we're seeing some market sadness, some market redness. But we'll see what happens when the actual trading day starts, right? We still have some time. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see us start moving back up on some decent volume when the market opens up, when we see the real traders coming in, when we see a lot of volume. You know, this pre-market stuff, it might just be there to psych us out. In fact, if you look, we'll pull up the S&P. The similar thing happened the other day where we were getting psyched out by the pre-market, or faked out actually. So I think it was when we were making our all-time highs, right? We were in the pre-market on the recovery, and we were doing pretty darn good. We were moving up. We made all-time highs for the overall market. For the S&P, we got to 474.86 on SPY. And then we started trending down a little bit before the market actually opened, but we were still pretty darn high. And as soon as we opened, we just continued this downturn, and now we're where we're at. We just moved straight down. So the pre-market isn't always right. In fact, we're seeing a very similar thing, right? We're seeing a downturn in the market, a little bit of a recovery before the open. We'll see what happens when we actually open. We've been looking at, we got a lot of comments. So Zach Taylor, good morning. Kitchener, good morning. Stand Up, what's up, man? And Hero, what's up? Teresa Renee, HTF, doesn't even believe the numbers. It's Scandemic or Scamdemic. Good morning, Teresa. And of course, I've forgotten the fan. Geez, I really do need a checklist. Of course, I was a little bit late today. I was almost late, so I'll be right back. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. There we go. Everything is as it should be now, except the markets are a little bit more red than I would like. Honestly, whenever the markets are red, I feel like a lot of the people who normally try to trade, they wake up, they look at their phones, they see they're down on their portfolios, and then they just turn them off, go back to bed. They don't want any part of it when they see the markets are red. And sometimes that makes sense, right? Sometimes it makes sense. If stuff is really going poorly in the markets, and if it's a bloody market, sometimes it's best to not take any trades or do anything like that. It can be a good time to buy long-term positions, though. So sometimes you can make quite a bit of money buying the long-term when the markets are red. But if you're trading, it's tough. It's tough to get yourself in the mindset of a red market, right? Typically, people are used to very green markets. At least if you've been doing anything in the markets over the past 2 years, you've been used to very green markets. So we'll see what happens. Well, yeah, and Ambition says, yep, abort mission when it's bloodshed. Yep. So we'll see what happens today if this continues. If we really do see a big red day today, which I'm hoping we don't, right? That would be not the best thing to see right before Christmas. I would hope that we'd see maybe some green for Christmas to match the tree. I'd rather us not match Santa's suit. I think the tree is a much nicer color for the markets, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It looks like there's not too much trending today, even on stock. It's all we've got, really. Well, AMC is actually moving up, it looks like. Look at that. AMC is doing pretty good. We're up to above 29 again, but doesn't surprise me. The markets are, of course, the number one thing people are talking about on StockTwits. Right behind them is AMC. So the markets have 7,900 mentions, and AMC has 6,900. We're getting close, though. I think that maybe if AMC starts moving up again, we could see another pump, and they could probably beat out the markets on StockTwits. But wow, we did just get some big volume coming in. Maybe it won't be the buying opportunity I was hoping for. I might just have to buy some shares. We'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping that AMC dips down a touch more. I would like to get it a little bit cheaper. I'd like it a little bit cheaper. We are technically moving down over the past couple of hours, at least from $30. It looks like we were still moving down, But now it's looking more like we might get back to 30. We'll see what happens when real volume kicks in. Obviously, we just got 260,000 shares traded this minute, so we'll see what happens in 19 more minutes when the market opens. And Silver says, Rob, take a look at the SPAC NXU. It's a long position play you're liking a lot. So NXU. Let's see what we've got on NXU. Is that NQVUS or NOVUS? I think it's Novus Capital Corporation. NQVUS would be too weird. So Novus Capital, interesting. So it's a new SPAC. All right. So let's see. Let's see. Energy Vault announces strategic agreement with BHP to support decarbonization. Is that the one? Is it Energy Vault? I think. So let's see. NXU. Let's actually pull up a different site. Yahoo Finance isn't doing it today. NXU. Let's see. So Energy Vaults, IPO and date and price. So they're expected to close in the first quarter of 2022. All right. And Energy Vault stock forecast, renewable energy generation can depend on the weather, and energy storage can allay apprehension about sudden demand-supply mismatches. Okay, that's cool. So it looks like they're a big energy storage company. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's definitely something that people might be using in the future. For sure, I think people might have a need for that. And it definitely sounds like a good company to have operating near you, right? You definitely want energy storage facilities near you, just in case we ever see some kind of power outage, you'll still have electricity. So it looks like they're basically a company that lets you generate energy however you want, typically through renewables, it would seem, and then they have these big vaults with a ton of batteries, and they store the energy. So that's interesting. Obviously, I don't know too much about what technology they're using, but my only worry with this is that the technology would quickly be outpaced, right? They'd quickly, they'd pretty frequently probably need to change out the batteries in those things. And considering that the batteries are the main component in their whole business model, it might be a risky one to be in if the technology just keeps advancing and every year they have to replace all of their equipment to stay up to date. It could be a worry, but it does seem like a very promising concept, just storing energy. That sounds like probably a pretty good idea. I mean, we'll see how much money there is in it. You know, it's it's kind of a fail-safe, right? It seems like a fail-safe that you'd have just in case, for whatever reason, there was no way to get energy being produced at the moment that you needed it. It seems like something. Green hydrogen, says Silver. So maybe it is an advanced technology. I didn't look too deeply into it, but if it's green hydrogen, I don't know what that is, but that sounds better than batteries. So yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'll look into that more. NXU Energy Vault. Let me look into just Energy Vault without NXU attached to it. Here we go. Their website, actually. Here's their website. So Energy Vault announces strategic agreement with BHP. All right. So enabling a renewable world. Okay. So let's see if we can find, I think, okay, here's their gravity solution. So gravity energy storage. Energy Vault's gravity energy storage solutions harnesses the fundamental principles of gravity and kinetic energy to store and dispatch energy by lifting and lowering composite bricks or mobile masses made from recycled and locally sourced materials. Energy Vault's breakthrough technology was inspired by pumped hydro plants that rely on the power of gravity and the movement of water to store and discharge electricity. The company's solution is based on the same well-understood fundamentals of physics and mechanical engineering used in those plants, but replaces water with custom-made composite bricks through an innovative use of local low-cost materials and sophisticated material science. Okay, so I'm still not sure exactly how they store it. I'd probably have to be some kind of scientist to understand how they're storing this stuff, but potentially, yeah, I'm really not sure how they're storing this. But they're using gravity to do it, so it's an interesting technology at the very least. It sounds pretty darn cool. And it looks like they have a couple of ways. So they've got gravity, EV, EVRC, and CDU, it looks like. Modular design, Energy Vault. Okay, so yeah, there's a couple of different solutions it looks like that they've got. Yeah, okay, pretty cool, pretty cool. Energy Vault might be a good one. NXU might be a good one then. Um, Kitchener Leslie asks, Rob, did you see Spider-Man? You know what? I missed Spider-Man. I didn't get to see it this weekend. I ended up leaving sooner than I thought I was going to for the trip that I was going on. But I'm going to see that on Tuesday now. We've rescheduled it. It's a friend's birthday. So we're going to see it on Tuesday. So no spoilers, guys. I don't want any spoilers. We rescheduled that to Tuesday. So Spider-Man, No Way Home, we're going to watch then on Tuesday. So hopefully I don't get it spoiled for me online. That's what I'm worried about. I don't need to know if we saw any familiar faces in that. Hopefully we did, but we'll see. We'll see. And it looks like at the moment we've got about 50 viewers in the stream and 16 likes. Potentially, we could pump that up. We might be able to get it up to maybe 30 likes. Maybe we could do it. I don't know. Just in time for the market open. We've only got about 10 minutes left before the market opens. Maybe we could get it up to 30 likes. We'll see. We only need 14 more to do it. So there we go. We're almost there. Nice. So we'll zoom in a little bit on some of these charts just so that we've got them. It looks like the S&P is starting to recover ever so slightly, just barely. We're up a couple of bucks over the past couple of minutes. We're up $1.20. It looks like we're gonna potentially struggle with 455. We'll see though. Sundial definitely took a hit. A lot of stuff took a hit. It looks like the only thing that might be opening green is AMC, and that's the one thing that I actually wanted to move down so I could buy more of it for cheap. So, geez. We'll see what happens with AMC. We'll see what happens with it. Hopefully I don't get left behind. I would have hoped that we would have moved down a little bit more. I mean, we'll see what happens with it. It's making me regret not buying that morning, Friday morning. I should have bought then. But we'll see if we can get a slightly better buy on it now. That's what we're going to have to do. And DWAC, let's see. Did anything happen over the weekend? Not much. It doesn't look like much has gone on with DWAC. But we did also, follow the pattern that pretty much everything is following. It moved down as well. So we're at 49 bucks right now with DWAC, just below 50. We'll see if we can't regain the $50 support level. So hopefully we can. I mean, we definitely used it on Friday. You can see a bunch of times we were bouncing off of 50 bucks. But we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. Hopefully we can get back up there today. I mean, I know the last thing that anyone wants is a really red week right before Christmas. Hopefully you guys have already gotten your gifts for people. I need to do that today. That's my task for today. I need to buy some gifts. So we'll see. And Silver says, don't get shaken out, folks. Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about getting shaken out. I don't think we're going to crash. I mean, it's looking like we're on a bit of a dip, and obviously the VIX is moving up. People are getting a little bit more fearful. But I don't think we're going to crash. I don't think we're going to have any need for a big shakeout. Oh, and Zach Taylor says the collapse of Build Back Better means Fed will have to revise everything. U.S. is now looking at no fiscal stimulus in 2022 and a drain of monetary stimulus. Yeah, that's the case, it looks like. We're probably not going to get any real form of stimulus. I mean, it's looking like the Fed is really taking a hard look at inflation and is getting pretty darn worried about it. So they really are actually, turns out, tapering. I mean, I wouldn't have thought that we'd see it. I thought the Fed would never taper, but it looks like they're trying to at least do the responsible thing. So we'll see. We'll see if they continue doing it. I mean, if the markets dip too much, they might have to come back in with some form of stimulus. I would not be surprised to see that. I wouldn't be surprised to see the markets take a hit and then the Fed comes to the rescue and sacrifices the dollar. They might do it. I mean, the uber wealthy don't really have their money in dollars. They have their money in stock and other types of assets. So they might sacrifice the dollar to do it. I mean, if you looked at the savings rate, we'll take a peek at the savings rate. It's not very high, so I mean, it really doesn't seem like it would hurt too many people if the dollar took a hit. At least from the perspective of there's not too much savings out there. It's not too high. We're at 7.3% as of October, so we'll see. But very low savings rate. And Ludwig says, Rob, if you buy more AMC on Robinhood, you'll get vaporized. What's going to happen to AMC on Robinhood? You think they're going to pause the... I don't think they would ever pause selling of AMC. I think they'd pause buying of it. But as long as you can buy it in the meantime, I don't think it does anything wrong, right? If you buy AMC, as long as they're not stopping you from buying more, I always thought that it was the idea that they would stop you from buying more if AMC was running. And that's what people didn't like about Robinhood, but maybe we'll get some more clarification. And what's up, Abstract? Good morning, man. Hope you had a good weekend. You're going to need it. It's looking like the markets and crypto are pretty darn red. Abstract has arrived, so we've been waiting for it. We've been waiting for that. Now we can talk about crypto. And like I said, it's not looking great. Bitcoin is down again, down 3.5%. We're at 45,600. Ethereum is down 4.5%. We're at 3,750. Binance Coin down 5%. Pretty much everything is red today. There's only one coin that's not red, and we already talked about it. It's a weird coin that I've never heard of, so we won't mention it again. But Solana's down 9%, Cardano's down 6%, Terra Luna down 2%, Avalanche down 9%, Dogecoin down 6%, Shiba Inu down almost 10%. So we're seeing a lot of crypto pain, unfortunately. Potentially a buying opportunity, right? Before 2022, maybe some people are going to get in on crypto. Maybe some people are worried about inflation and they're looking at this like it's a great buying opportunity. Dogecoin is looking a little scary. We're not as low as we were. We've been down to 15 something cents before per coin on Dogecoin. Now we're at 16. So we are seeing a little bit of pain. Shiba Inu is looking the scariest, I think. In my opinion, at least, it's looking the scariest because it's just making new lows. So I think that's the scariest one right now. It just keeps making new lows, and we don't know where it's going to stop. We haven't been this low since the rally started. So we'll see how far down it goes. But it seems to just, over the past couple of months, just continuously dip and dip and dip. We did have that one rally that brought us up, I think, 20%? Maybe close to 50% it brought us up, actually. But we did have that one rally. It did not last super long, but we had a rally. So we'll see what happens with Shiba Inu if we can recover. But it's not looking pretty for Shiba Inu, I'll say. I'm still holding a very small amount of it. So we'll see what happens with that. Oh, and Ludwig says you need a non-payment for order flow broker. I gotcha, yeah. Because the orders are not going through the lit exchange, but prompt through the dark pool if you buy on Robinhood. I see. Yeah, I do have a non-payment for order flow broker. The only one that I've got, I'll try and pull it up here. I don't think TD Ameritrade does payment for order flow, but let me pull up the broker that I have. TD Ameritrade doesn't do payment for order flow. Let's see. We've got the stream pulled up right now, and I'm pulling up the description of the stream. So the only one I think there are a couple down here, and potentially M1 Finance doesn't do payment for order flow, but also Public, and I've got Public already. I have a Public account, and if you guys want one, then you guys can just click the link in description, and it should just open up this page where you get a free stock using the referral code RobbleMazy. If anyone is interested in Public, I have a couple of trades posted there, actually, if people want to check it out, but I think that's the one that I've got. I don't have very much money in it. It's only referral money. So it's only referral money that I've got in my Public account, actually. So if anyone wants to use that link, feel free. Feel free to do it. And Ludwig says... Oh, it's a deleted message now, but it said something along the lines of AMC and GameStop being necessary for Sundial to start squeezing up. So maybe that is something we could see. Okay, and Silver, Rob, I DM'd you on Instagram my theory on BHP NXU Woodside Trifecta Transformer. I'll take a peek at that. I will take a peek at that, and Ludwig repost it. AMC and GME is key for a Sundial squeeze. Might be. And Kitchener Leslie says Melania Trump is releasing an NFT on the Solana blockchain. Let me check this out. Okay, so wow. It looks like we've got a Melania Trump Okay, so it looks like she just announced an NFT venture. Let's check this out. Let's see what's going on with it. That sounds interesting. Okay, so Melania Trump announces NFT venture. In exchange for a cryptocurrency token, you can own a digital watercolor painting of Melania Trump's eyes. All right. So let's see if we can't find. I don't know if they don't have a picture of it here. All right, well, hold on. Let's find this. Let's find out what this NFT looks like. I'm curious. I don't know if she's actually released it yet, so maybe not. Let's see. Where can we find the NFT itself? Maybe she's just announced. You know what? She may have just announced the venture. There may not be an actual. Okay, maybe this is it though. This might be it. This might be it right here. Hold on. I might have just found it. So, open image in new tab. This might be it. I might be wrong about it, but this is the first thing that pops up when I search Melania Trump NFT. So, this might be what the NFT looks like. So, hold on. Let's see if that's real. Let's see if that's it's from The Guardian. So, okay. So on The Guardian, it says, let's get rid of that little pop-up, but this might be it. So Melania Trump launches NFT venture promising an amulet to inspire. The former First Lady's promotional materials note that a portion of the proceeds will help children aging out for foster care. Okay, she's married to former U.S. President Donald Trump, but now you too can stare into the cobalt blue eyes of Melania Trump at the touch of a button, and with your very own piece of trendy digital art, the former First Lady has jumped into the latest internet craze by launching an NFT just in time for Christmas. It puts Melania right in the middle of a fashion frenzy in high-tech art circles, though many critics may regard it as the latest attempt by Trump family to cash in on political success. An NFT is a digital asset art. We know what NFTs are, but I think this is it. I'm pretty sure this is Melania Trump's NFT. So, cool stuff. You can... I don't know how much it costs, but is this? No, that's not for Melania. That's for The Guardian. All right. So let me look up how much does that cost. I'm curious how much you'd have to pay to get that. And Zach Taylor says Americans trust Joe Rogan 100 times more than Mr. Doom. I trust Joe Rogan quite a bit. I certainly like Joe Rogan, so I'd have to agree with that. I think whoever Mr. Doom is, Americans probably like Joe Rogan more. Most popular podcast in the world, I'm pretty sure. And Ludwig is from Germany, so he can't buy on Fidelity. And Ambition is passing on it. Ambition is passing on that. So, let's see. And we got, who was it? Ultimate Blue Eyes White Dragon. When are you going to buy more AMC? I'm looking for a good price for it. If we can get it much lower than where I bought initially, if we could get it much lower below 28, then I'd start buying up some more. I'd slowly be buying up some more, and we would do it on stream if that's how we were doing it. If it did end up dipping below 28 by a lot, we could potentially see some cheaper prices. I'd like to get it. Honestly, I wish I had bought it at 23. That's when I would really like to be buying a decent amount. At 23, 24, anything below 25 would be ideal. We'll see what happens with it, though. We might just have to slowly average in. It looks like we're seeing a little bit of pain right before the market open. So it looks like Sundial is also seeing just a touch of pain, and SPY not doing great. Everything it looks like is falling right before the market opens. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with the markets. An abstract says Rogan. I've never listened to Joe Rogan. Oh, Joe Rogan. Yeah. It's a good podcast. If you've never listened, I highly recommend it. He has on all kinds of interesting guests. Maybe start with the Post Malone interview. That was a good one. I think they just did shrooms and then hung out for an hour. Or a couple hours. It was cool. It was a good one. He has a bunch of good. He has finance people on sometimes. So if you're interested in that, then you can check those out. Peter Schiff is a good finance guy that he's had on. And Ludwig says, Rob, there's a comment for you above. So you can't buy on Fidelity. Is it that you can't buy on Fidelity? It looks like you're from Germany. Can't buy on Fidelity. Oh, but nonetheless, Trade Republic isn't as bad as Robinhood. Ah. Oh. Trade Republic. I don't know if I've heard of them really. I mean, I'm sure I've heard the words Trade Republic before, but I don't think I've ever looked at them or I knew that they were a brokerage. And yeah, we got the opening bell. So here we go. It looks like everything except AMC is red. And geez, AMC on the rise. Not exactly what I was hoping for, I have to say. That's not what I was hoping for. Oh man. They might make me buy it expensive. Jeez. Let's see. Maybe we'll get a little bounce off of $30. Maybe we'll get a buying opportunity off of that. Jeez, though. Come on. Of course. As soon as I want it on AMC, it skyrockets. Jeez. Granted, I did wait. I was patient for a very long time, right? I'd seen AMC for a long time when it was at 40, so it's still cheaper than it was. Granted, this isn't necessarily the bottom, but it's definitely not the top. We'll see what happens over the next couple of minutes. Let's see. It looks like we're on a straight line up. Jeez. Buy AMC live on stream. Maybe we'll have to start averaging in. I mean, we'll tell you what. If there ever was a chance to get AMC moving down, it would be because I bought some. So we'll slowly buy. We'll buy another 10 shares now. Hopefully it doesn't move above 30. That wouldn't be good. So AMC, let's pull it up. We'll buy another 10 shares. Let's do that. Oh, man, now it's at 30. Of course it's above 30. It's making me buy it above 30. Jeez. All right, well, need to hold on one second, guys. Hold on one second. That's just skyrocketing. Of course it is. Okay. Wow. Unbelievable. I'm basically FOMOing into AMC. I hate this. This is the worst. Here we go. So we'll buy 10 more shares of AMC. Jeez. It's making me pay up the wazoo for this AMC. All right, there we go. 10 more shares. We'll get it up to 100. We'll get it up to 100 eventually, so there we go. 10 shares purchased. Nice. Of course it's moving down as soon as I buy it. Look at that. We see some red on AMC. Look at that. We just saw a little bit of red. As soon as I bought in, it was at the peak, and now it's ready to move down. So there we go. I took one for the team. I took one so that we could see AMC moving lower. Maybe get some more AMC. But there we go. We'll see what we can do. We'll see if it stays above 30. It looks like we're getting pushed down below right now. DWAC is getting pushed down. It looks like everything. In fact, the markets are getting pushed down too. It looks like we just made the lows of the trading day on the SPY right there. And Sundial is not doing too much. It's kind of mimicking the markets, just sitting stagnant, and then we're getting a couple of red bars. Now AMC is lower. Rob, buy Sundial live. We'll buy Sundial when it gets back down to that 50 to 53 cent range. That's where we've been buying it up, right around here when it hits 53 cents. That's where we'll be buying Sundial if it dips down that far. Who's to say if it will? And Ambition says FOMO. Yep. We just FOMO'd into AMC. We caused this crash. Whenever I buy in, it drops. So, although, when I bought into it Friday, it actually did pretty good. Initially, I forget exactly where it was, but we did pretty good. I remember I bought in, and I expected it to drop, and then it did pretty good and got up above 30, and I was up on the day for the rest of the day. So we'll see. Maybe that'll be the case. I'm hoping that it moves down lower. I'd like some cheaper AMC. Ludwig wants me to read the comment above. Rob, I said if you buy AMC, GME, Sundial, you need to use Fidelity using the Active Trader Pro app. I don't have Fidelity, unfortunately. I don't have Fidelity. I have 6 brokerages, but no Fidelity. I have TD Ameritrade, Webull, Public, Robinhood, Tastyworks, and what's the last one? Maybe I just have 5 brokerages. Hold on. What are my brokerage accounts? And M1 Finance. That's it. Yeah, so I've got 6 brokerages right there, but no Fidelity. What's the upside to Fidelity? It doesn't do payment for order flow. Yeah, I think that's the main upside. And Ambition says that's unfortunate. You knew better than to catch the falling knives. Yep. Yep. So we'll see what happens with AMC. It looks like it's about to make highs of day, actually. Geez, it's moving up. Which, in this situation is unfortunate for me, at least, because I wanted to get more cheaper. Ugh. Jeez. Oh, well. At least you've got a little bit more, around $30. So we'll see. We'll see if it falls more. Hopefully it does. I know a lot of people don't want it to fall. A lot of people are already in. They already want, they've got all that they want, and they want it to move up. I was hoping to get a slightly better buy on this. And, should have done it. Should have done it 2 days ago when it was below 25. I had the opportunity. I didn't pull the trigger on it, but learned my lesson for next time. Don't count out AMC ever. Jeez. Let's see. In fact, is AMC about to beat out? No, it's still ranking somewhat similarly on StockTwits. SPY is still number one, and then AMC. So we'll see if we can get that switching up, as AMC overall is performing much better than the markets right now. The markets are down 1.25%, and AMC is up 4.5%. So overall, AMC's beating the market today. AMC is maybe that's where all the money is flowing. We talked about that earlier. Money's flowing out of the markets. It's flowing out of the dollar. It's flowing out of gold. It looks like is down even. Silver's down. Stocks are down. Crypto's down. Maybe it's just flowing into AMC. And Jim Cramer gave us a huge buy indicator on HUD by telling us to sell. That typically is the best time to buy, when Jim Cramer says to sell. So that is typically when you want to get in on a stock. So where was HUD? Let's pull up HUD real quick. Yeah, it looks like Jim Cramer probably said it right at 9:27, and then we just started skyrocketing when Jim Cramer said to sell. So there you go. HUD is doing pretty good during the trading day. Looks like we were at lows of around 18, but HUD has been on a bit of a recovery, it looks like. From Friday, they dipped down and moved up big. Then we dipped down with the markets in the pre-market, but now we're on the way back again. So we'll see what we can get with HUD. Hopefully, we'll get it going green. We've already got our HUD position, right? We're not in the stock, but we have sold put options on HUD. So hopefully those will actually expire worthless. That's what we want since we sold them. And they don't expire until 2023. So we'll see what happens with HUD. Hopefully it just keeps moving up. And of course, we've got the DWAC put contracts. We have 2 of those now. And it has gotten a little cheaper since then, so maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to sell some more of them. We'll see what we end up doing. And Zach Taylor says, most people have no idea what's coming and just how bad things are going to get. They could get pretty bad. They really could. We've got potentially a lot of inflation coming. And if you've looked at the savings rate, I will pull this up again, not very much savings compared to what we had during COVID. So things could get bad. And I was pulling this up earlier, right? Because CNBC says Dow futures fall 400 points on Omicron fears. And then I pulled up the CDC COVID tracking data. And you can see we're on the rise again. So the Omicron, apparently, I don't know if this is Omicron actually. Maybe it is. But I feel like we weren't hearing about Omicron way back here when we started rising. Maybe we were, but I don't think we've had that many Omicron cases. I haven't kept up with it too much. I've not kept up with it too much, but it's looking like we are on the uptrend again. So we'll see what happens. And, the strange thing that I've noticed about this chart, if you take a look back at the beginning, we used to have pretty steady data. There weren't too many dips. In fact, if you look at the, here, let me get rid of the moving average. If you look at these blue lines, we wouldn't have too many dips. There were dips every now and then, but they weren't too large. They got somewhat large over here. But then you move over to when we started having delta, and there are massive dips in this data over here. It's crazy how big these dips are. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but now with Omicron, the dips have gotten even larger, right? There's a bigger variance, I guess, what we get during the weekdays and what we get during the weekends. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe people are just really spreading during the weekdays, or maybe we're not testing during the weekends. Who knows? But we just get far fewer cases every 6 days or so, every 5 or 6 days. It's a strange pattern that I've noticed. I don't know why, but I've taken a peek at the chart a couple of times, and I've noticed that. It looks like the dips just keep getting bigger as time goes on, for whatever reason. I don't know what it is that does that, but... And AutoCode says Malta legalized cannabis. Yes, they did. In fact, we made a video on that. The latest Sundial video, I think, discusses that, about cannabis being legalized in not just Malta that they're doing it in, but a bunch of countries. And boy, oh boy, look at what just happened to the S&P. Big red bar right here. Big red bar. Wow. So we're potentially looking at a very red market today if we keep getting bars like that. And Dave Amer says, I'm bullish on EV stocks, semiconductor stocks, healthcare stocks, and Bitcoin. The future is bright. There are a lot of potentially promising industries to get in on, I'll say. EV, semiconductors are useful. Healthcare stocks, yeah, I could see us using a decent amount of healthcare. And Bitcoin could be doing good. That's going to be a tough one. It's the kind of, I'll pull up the cryptos. I have some Bitcoin, I have some Ethereum, I have some Dogecoin, and I have some Shiba Inu coin. I think that over the long term, we could see Ethereum doing the best out of all of them. I think that there's the most utility in Ethereum. I think eventually that's potentially the statistic that people will be looking for. How much utility does it have? And that might be what makes Ethereum reign supreme. Bitcoin definitely has the name recognition. It was the first crypto. It's what everybody knows as the largest market cap currently, and a lot of people trust it the most. It's very reliable, right? It has that 21 million cap. A lot of people know about Bitcoin, and they're not worried about any kind of inflation or anything like that going on with it. It seems pretty reliable, and it's had the longest track record of moving up. But I think that over the long term, Bitcoin may turn into more of a, if you think about it in a stock market perspective, it might be more of like one of those old big railroad companies or something like General Electric that started out really huge, it got massive, and then it just didn't keep up with the times technologically or otherwise. And Ethereum might be the new kid on the block, the Microsoft, the Apple, the Google, the Tesla, maybe. And I think Ethereum could eventually be outpacing Bitcoin. It's tough to say if that'll actually happen. Obviously, people can update Bitcoin, but I don't think people want Bitcoin to be updated. But Ethereum's got a big team working on updating their platform. I know Bitcoin's gone through some updates, but I don't think that it would add to the credibility of Bitcoin if they kept getting updated. I think what people like about Bitcoin is the stability. So maybe it'll continue to be a digital gold, just a virtual gold. That's what it is. It might continue to be that. It might just act as a store of value. But I think over the long term, if we're spending stuff, it's probably Ethereum, unless some new coin comes out of nowhere and takes over Ethereum. But so far, Ethereum and Bitcoin both have massively larger market caps than any other crypto. Bitcoin has $865 billion worth of market cap. Ethereum has $450 billion worth. And the next largest coin is under $100 billion. It's Binance Coin, who pretty much nobody's heard of. I mean, obviously people have heard of it because they use Binance to buy crypto. But I don't think it's that well known compared as an investment compared to Ethereum or Bitcoin. So it's the next top trender or the next largest market cap at $85 billion. So I don't see anything at the moment that could displace Ethereum, but we'll see. And Kitchener says Rob Solana is Melania. Yeah, I think isn't that what she used to sell her NFT? I think it is. So did NAKD do the merger yet? I don't think NAKD. I think that's tomorrow potentially. I think the vote is tomorrow Eastern time on 2021, and then I don't know if they actually do the merger immediately after that, but we'll see. We'll see if they do the merger right after that. They might wait, but they said that by the end of 2021. So at some point in the next 10 days, we should get it. And look at that. Centro Automotive, the company that's merging with NAKD, is going to participate in CES, the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas in 2022, the world's largest consumer technology event. So my cousin actually went to this a year or two ago. It was the year right before COVID hit. And, He said there were a bunch of Chinese businessmen there and all kinds of people, and that when he got back, he wasn't feeling too good. He had the sniffles and a sore throat, and he got tested, and it wasn't COVID. So he thought it might have been, though. He thought it might have been. And Kitchener voted on NAKD yesterday. Nice. David Amer, I think Bitcoin to 100,000 per coin in the next 3 to 6 months. Maybe that seems tough, considering we're at 45,000. We'd have to more than double in 3 to 6 months, and I know it's something Bitcoin has done before. We're just getting to a really large market cap at this point. It's getting tough. I mean, over the past year, from where we were a year ago to where we are now, we've just about doubled. We were at 22.8K about a year ago, and now we're at 45, 46K. Granted, we were at one point up above 65,000. We were at 67,000. So maybe we could see that. We're at 68,000, actually. Look at that. 68,000 on Bitcoin. Whew. So we could potentially be there and maybe more towards the 6-month side of things. But I think we'd need some kind of catalyst, right? I think that if we were to get there, we'd have to see maybe that Bitcoin ETF that people have been talking about. I think that's potentially something that could drive Bitcoin up. But short of that, I don't know if there's a big catalyst that we've got coming for Bitcoin that would really move us up in that big of a way. Maybe something, but nothing that I'm thinking of off the top of my head. We'll see, though. But man, it looks like gold, I'll pull it up, is pretty stagnant. It really hasn't moved too much. It's just sitting around 167, at least on the gold ETF. I don't know what the spot price is off the top of my head, but at least it's doing better than the SPY. And QQQ isn't doing too good either. We'll pull that up once it loads. It looks like it's been pretty volatile during the day. I mean, or pretty stagnant, rather. Volatile in the sense that it's just up, down, up, down, up, down. That would be nearly impossible to take a good trade on. David Amer, it's making higher lows even though we are in a pullback. About Bitcoin. So, is it making higher lows? Yeah, it looks like it is. Well, see, it's making higher lows as long as we don't continue moving down, right? It's making higher lows. If we keep moving down, we'd have to get to 41,500 before making 40,000. It looks like we'd have to get to 40,000, so we're 6,000 away. Hopefully we don't get there. I would hope not, but potentially. And Zach Taylor says it's time to turn off the news and just live your best life. That's one way to do it. I tend to ignore the news for the most part. I don't like, CNN and whatever other media sites there. I really don't look at too much of the news day to day. It seems mostly fairly negative. You typically don't hear that much good stuff on the news. It's usually sob stories or stories about death. So I try to stay away from it. I agree with that, Zach. And Mark says QuantumScape is worth a look while it's low. They have new battery tech potentially increasing EV mileage 3-fold. That would be cool. That would be cool if we could get much better batteries. So let's see. QuantumScape, QS. We'll pull that up real quick. Pull up QS. So it looks like we did just take a dip off of yesterday. We're not down too much. We're down to $23. Oh, wow. It's been falling for a while, though. So for the past 30 days, all right. So we are at 90-day lows. Let's see what we've got over the past year. Yeah, we've fallen quite a bit with QuantumScape. And then this whole metaverse hype, it looks like we moved up on that, but we were way higher in 2020. So over the past 2 years, wow. So we really moved up. Right before last December, just about a year ago, we were near the highs, $132. Wow. So that's interesting. QuantumScape is pretty darn cheap where it's been historically, at least. We'll see. We got down to around $20 before. Maybe worth a look if they're really doing good with their batteries. If they're really doing good. And their investors include Bill Gates and Volkswagen. So if you like Bill Gates, if you like his investment picks, then maybe you want to get in on QuantumScape. It could have some potential in the future, maybe. What's the market cap on this one? 9.76 billion, even at these prices. Whew. It must have been a massive market cap towards the end of 2020. Wow. So, yeah, I mean, potentially it's a good one. I'm not too sure about the tech. It looks like they've been downtrending for a bit. I'm not sure specifically. I don't know enough about batteries to say if their battery is really going to do all that they say, if it's really going to increase mileage by that much for electric vehicles, but maybe it will. Maybe it will. An abstract says, I think Shiba will go crazy once Shibarium comes out. I can't say I've ever heard of Shibarium. Let me take a peek at Shibarium. Shibarium blockchain. Shibarium blockchain. SHIB Inu coin layer 2 is the next step for SHIB. So we'll pull this up. Shibarium blockchain. It's the next step for SHIB. The SHIB ecosystem grows as Shiba Inu coin resurgence persists. The meme coin's ecosystem continues to grow, while the Shibarium blockchain, set to add to an already extensive network. The SHIB ecosystem has expanded dramatically. So what is Shibarium? That's what we want to know. For those of you who have never heard of Shibarium, neither have I. We're going to learn about it together. Shibarium is a blockchain/layer 2 solution first proposed by Ryoshi, the creator of Shiba Inu coin. Ryoshi initially used the phrase blockchain, but it is more likely to be an L2 that sits on top of an already existing Ethereum blockchain. The SHIB creator said the line between an L2 and own blockchain is thin. I mean, what's the difference really between Matic, L2, and BSC? Okay, so he's talking in code right here. I don't know what he's talking about, but while SHIB and leash tokens currently have more utility than ShibaSwap, neither of these will be the primary pair token for Shibarium. Instead, it will be Bone. Ryoshi explains this reasoning, stating Bone will have a fair and zero start in which we will not have to be concerned about overarching whale bags. Okay. However, SHIB and leash holders earned Bone when ShibaSwap first launched, meaning there are likely a hefty number of Bone whales out there. I obviously haven't looked too deeply into Shiba Inu, but it looks like they've got an ecosystem of coins like leash and Bone to go along with them. So that's interesting. So let me take a peek at that for those of you who haven't heard of it. So let's see. All you need to know about Shiba Inu token, SHIB, leash token, and Bone token. So it looks like they're tokens that go along with Shiba Inu. Leash tokens. When the leash tokens are staked or buried, the one staking the coins receives a reward in the form of X-leash tokens. The people holding the X-leash tokens are part of the X-leash liquidity pool. If someone is part of this pool, they receive 0.5% of all Bone per block. And when digging or providing liquidity with the leash tokens, the digger gets a share of the leash ETH SSLP. So, potentially I'm misunderstanding this, but by my math, if someone is part of this pool, they receive 0.5% of all Bone per block. So is that saying that you can only have 200 people in the pool because there's only 100% and 100% and everyone in the pool gets 0.5%? Yeah, maybe that's what's going on. Who knows? But when bearing Bone tokens, the user receives T-Bone. This entitles the holder the right to be part of a pool that provides the members 1% of all the Bone per block. And digging in this case is similar to the function for the leash tokens. The person digging or providing liquidity receives a share of the Bone ETH SSLP. So crazy stuff. If you know a lot about crypto, then maybe you understood that. But it sounds like people are just getting paid interest to hold on to other tokens related to Shiba Inu coin. So interesting stuff. Not something that I'm going to be doing anytime soon, probably. I don't know if I don't think Webull has wallets, so I don't even think that I could do anything or stake my SHIB or whatever it is you need to do. And Brazil AA, good morning, man. Welcome. Welcome to the chat. And Big Spark says turn on CNBC. All right, we'll pull it up. Oh, wow. So Oracle, okay, hold on. Is that the breaking news, that Oracle is to buy medical records company? When did this come out? 9:40. Okay. Are you talking about this? Maybe we'll take a peek at this. So Oracle to buy medical records company Cerner in its biggest acquisition ever. Enterprise software giant Oracle buy electronic medical records company Cerner in an all-cash deal for $95 per share, or approximately $28.3 billion in equity value. Is that what you're talking about? Any polls today? Asks Kitchener. We can definitely do a poll. We can definitely do a poll. We'll think of something. We'll think of something good for it. So Vivi is saying yes. All right, we'll do a poll. We'll do a poll. So let's see. Okay. Let's do a poll, and we'll ask something potentially about the markets doing something before Christmas. We'll ask if you guys think they're gonna. Should we ask about the markets moving up or down before Christmas? That would potentially be a good one. We could ask about that, maybe. It looks like right now, I mean, they're moving pretty far down, but maybe they can recover. So we'll see. We'll ask this. Will we have a Christmas rally? How about that? Yes or no? There we go. So hopefully that worked. We'll see in a second when the poll pops up if we're gonna have a Christmas rally or not. Any second it should pop up. There we go. Will we have a Christmas rally? Make sure to vote in the poll, guys. I'm curious. I'm curious what you guys think of a Christmas rally. And while you guys are hitting the vote button on the poll, feel free to hit the like button on the video. We've got 47 likes, and it would only take 3 people hitting it to get up to 50. I know we could do it. Maybe we can do it. It's going to be tough getting to 50, but I think we can. We only need 3 people, 2 people now. Looks like some people voting in the poll decided to hit the like button too. We're almost at 50. Looks like, all right, there we go. We're at 51. Nice. Nice. Awesome. There we go. We did it. Even though the markets aren't doing too good, people are still happy with the stream. So it looks like AMC did end up taking a bit of a dip. Of course, I bought right at the peak. I could have bought it down there at 28. Let's see if we can get it below 28. Let's see if we can get the let's see if we can get AMC below 28. So NAKD, someone's saying NAKD. It's Max Pierce. So yeah, there we go. So it's looking like it's actually ended up it's moving to the downside, just like well, the markets are actually doing the opposite now. They're moving up right now. It looks like we started moving down despite the news that Centro is going to be at the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas. I think that's what, in February or January? Yeah, January 5 to 8. Centro Automotive is a leading EV technology company with advanced market-validated commercial vehicles, said that it will be participating in the upcoming 2022 Consumer Electronics Show, the largest consumer technology trade show in the world. So that will be very cool. Potentially they'll show off some interesting EV tech that they've got, and that could serve to move up Centro. I mean, the merger should have gone through by that time. So by January 5th to 8th, we'll be looking at NAKD. The price will be a whole lot more, but everyone will have fewer shares. So we'll see. And as for the Christmas rally, we've got 24 votes in the poll so far. 58% of people say yes, we'll see one. 42% say no. So it's fairly split. We obviously don't have too many votes in there yet. And Eric asks, what's the program that we are seeing called? This program right here, this screen, is TD Ameritrade's Think or Swim platform. So it's a free platform. If anyone wants it, you guys can get it for free. It's very useful, I found. And looks like Sundial's starting to move up. It looks like Sundial's starting to see some green today. We're up to highs of the trading day. It only took 30 minutes just about for them to get there. So at 10, finally, they started moving up. And now we're seeing some green on Sundial. It's not too much green compared to where they've been earlier on. And Kitchener says, Rob, your shirt is reminding me of Spider-Man for some reason. Yes, it is. It is a little Spider-Man-ish. It's a little red. Um, but yeah, I still need to see that. I'm looking forward to it. Tuesday, I'm watching Spider-Man, so no spoilers, guys. Oh, we should have made the poll. Have you guys seen Spider-Man? I would have been curious about that. Maybe we'll do it. We just ended the poll. All right, we're asking a new poll. So it looks like the results will come out in a second, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. So let's see what the poll results were. It's going to show up in the chat any second. So 61% of people think we'll see a Christmas rally. 38% say we won't. But new poll coming out. I'm asking, have you seen Spider-Man Far From No Way Home? There we go. Now we'll see. Who's seen Spider-Man? Oh, Kitch just spoiled something. He heard Uncle Ben dies. Well, that happened many movies ago. So hopefully you guys haven't seen that movie yet. Hopefully you guys have already seen that movie. now that you know. Now that Kitchener spoiled it. All right, so let's see when that new poll pops up. So it just showed up. We've got 4 votes in it so far. And 12 votes now. Most people haven't seen it yet. Most people haven't seen it. Not surprising. I haven't seen it yet. So if I could vote in the poll, I would click no also. And yeah, Worlds says, don't kill the movie. Don't spoil it, guys. I do not want to hear any spoilers from the 13% of you that have heard it. And we've got some breaking news. Trump sues New York Attorney General Letitia James to block company probe. So Trump sues New York Attorney General Letitia James to block a company probe. Interesting. So we'll get an update on that in a couple of minutes. This is breaking news. They just updated this, but it says please check back soon. So here we go. Breaking news. Please check back for updates. So we'll keep an eye on this page and see if anything new comes out about it. I'm sure someone's typing up a story right now. And look at that. Look at that. We've got 27 votes. And 89% of people have not seen this new Spider-Man movie. So basically, 11% have. I think that means 3 people have seen this movie. And Slim Daddy Bim says Spider-Man doesn't release in Japan until January 7th. Seriously? That's crazy. Wow. Also, look at what just happened to Sundial. We just saw a big red bar right here. And big red wick, fortunately. It didn't end up closing at the bottom of this bar. So we'll see if this maintains itself or if we can get back up. Hopefully we can. Hopefully we can. I'd like to see Sundial starting to move up towards the end of the day. And I'm going to remove a potential... So Max Pierce, Rob, did you say the vote on the merger for NAKD is today? I think it's the 21st for our time zone, for East Coast. But let me pull it up. Let's see what we've got. So I think it's December 21st. There we go. So Naked Brand Group announces December 21st, 2021 extraordinary general meeting to approve acquisition of Central Automotive Group. So, oh, actually, you know what? It is our time zone on the 20th. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Atlantic something. AEDT is the 21st is for a different time zone. So Eastern Standard Time is 6 p.m. today. They're going to be holding the vote. I don't know if they'll actually do the merger instantly. They might do the merger before tomorrow morning. We'll see. We'll have to keep an eye on it. But yeah, it looks like today at 6 they should be doing that vote. So there we go. We'll see at 6 o'clock what happens to the Centro shares. I would have expected a little bit more volatility, honestly. I mean, I will say, we're seeing some volume, but not even as much as we saw on Friday. It's actually fairly small volume, all things considered. So who knows? Maybe people were doing their buying ahead of time. We just haven't seen that much volatility surrounding this NAKD merger, but we'll see what happens with it. I'm looking forward to being a Centro owner instead of a Naked Brand owner. I think that the EVs probably have a little bit more potential looking forward to the long term. I think we see a little bit more potential from the EVs than the swimwear. So So we'll see what we can get with that. All right, but there we go. So now we know. And let me pull up the news. So here we go. We've gotten a slight update. Former President Donald Trump reportedly filed a lawsuit Monday in an effort to block New York State Attorney General Letitia James from continuing to investigate his business. Okay, so we'll see what happens with that lawsuit, if it ends up working or not. Interesting stuff. So it might do a little blocking, but ooh, guys, take a peek at this. This S&P 500 map is blood red. It does not look good. Everything is red pretty much. I mean, there's only like 2 or 3. There's like maybe 6 things total that are green at all, and the rest are kind of gray, if anything at all. So we've got AT&T, Netflix, Pfizer, the Clorox company, I don't know what that is, and Kroger is green also, but we've also got Moderna. So everything else other than that pretty much is red. That's crazy. It's not looking like a good market today. Everything is down, even cryptos. This might be the everything bubble that everyone was talking about. Hopefully not. That would be pretty scary stuff to see the everything bubble, but it could happen in 2022. We could see a lot more inflation, and that might cause a lot of pain in the markets. So we'll see. And Kitchener says big sale coming today. I mean, it looks like we've already gotten a lot of stuff on sale looking at that map, but maybe we'll see some more. Maybe we'll see some more sales. It looks like cryptos are actually recovering just a touch. If you look at Bitcoin, it looks like over the past couple of minutes, we just started moving up a little bit right here. We just recently started recovering just a touch on Bitcoin. We got up above 46,000, so we're barely clinging to 46,000 per coin. We'll see if we can maintain it. But some of the cryptos have started to come back, so that's decent for them. It's good stuff. Let's check some of the shorts, actually. We haven't looked at Ortex today. I'm curious what's going on with Sundial. So Sundial, not much going on short interest-wise. In fact, we've got a few shorts exiting Sundial, but just barely. Popping us below 350 million shares short. So that's good to see. Some shorts starting to exit Sundial. Maybe it's the bottom. We'll see. And did you say Kroger? I did. That's one of the few green spots in this whole market. Pretty much just Kroger and Netflix and Pfizer and Moderna. Those are the only green things I'm seeing. So let's check out AMC real quick. We'll see what AMC is doing short interest-wise. Okay, so it looks like AMC is pretty stagnant short interest-wise as well. We're only at a 0.03% increase, barely anything at all. AMC not looking too bad short interest-wise. It's not shorts pushing us down. We're in fact, that's potentially why we're able to be up today. Shorts aren't really pushing us. So we'll see what happens with AMC. If we can start moving up, that would be nice. But at the same time, it would be nice if we could start moving down. If I could potentially grab some shares for less, I would like to see that. It looks like we did very briefly get pushed off of $30, and we've not regained 30 since. So there's the potential situation that we're looking at where we could hit 30 again, bounce down, hopefully lower, and then I could grab some more shares. Below 25 would be nice. Below 25 would be nice. We'd have to fall quite a ways for that to happen, so who knows. What's conversion from NAKD to new EV company share-wise? So it's 15 shares of NAKD becomes the new stock, but you keep the amount of capital that you have. So basically, if you had 15 shares of NAKD and they were 50 cents a piece when the merger went through, you'd have 1 share of the new thing, but it would be worth $7.50. So you end up having fewer shares, but the same amount of capital. And it just makes the company look a little bit more legitimate. It helps keep them in compliance. That way they're not trading as a penny stock. So David Amer, bro, I just nailed this short on SOPA. Short 200 at 831. SOPA, we'll take a peek at that. Oh, nice. So it looks like, we got halted. We're down to 734. I'm up a point into the halt down. Nice. So let's see where this halt takes us. That's interesting. It definitely ran quite a bit, but yeah, you got it right there near the top pretty much. Very close. So good job on that one. An AMC update on Ortex. Yeah, we'll pull up the AMC on Ortex. The short interest is up 0.03%. So barely any change with the short interest. We're at 103.96 million shares short, and a current short interest regarding the free float of 20.26%. So overall, not too much to report short interest-wise on AMC. It's pretty much exactly where it was yesterday or Friday. It has not changed much since the market opened. And on Reddit and Wall Street Bets, we're seeing something very similar to what we're seeing on StockTwits. Let me pull up the StockTwits. So, look at that. StockTwits. AMC got a whole bunch more mentions, actually. AMC just took over SPY on StockTwits. Now AMC is number one with 9,600, almost 10K mentions on StockTwits. And SPY sitting around with 8,600. So good stuff. I think people realize that, hey, AMC is beating the market. It's up when the S&P is down today. So potentially that's what's going on. Sundial just keeps climbing. It looks like we're trying to get to 60 cents on Sundial. I hope we can do it. We're not that far off. I think we can. I think we can do it. And let me pull up also the Reddit data, just for those of you who are interested. The S&P is number one, and AMC is number two. So once again, we're seeing AMC not quite be the Reddit favorite, though people have pointed out that there are other places that people have migrated to discuss AMC. It's not so much a Reddit stock anymore, but it still trends pretty highly on Reddit, right? We got AMC and GameStop typically fairly close to the top, in the top 10 typically. And BBIG is definitely getting a lot of mentions as we're starting to talk about the Tide dividend again. So it's up quite a bit, and it's up 13%. So that's good to see. BBIG doing pretty good as we get ready for the Tide dividend. It's up 13%. So cool stuff. It was at one point up to 361. We'll see. We'll see if BBIG keeps moving up or not. And Kitchener Leslie says, I saw Sundial at 62 on Friday. Yeah, I think it did get to 62. Yeah, look at that. It was at 62. Very briefly on Friday, it was at 62. Right after, maybe an hour after the stream ended. Look at that. Yeah, so Sundial, we could get back up there. We are on the way, it looks like, from the look of this. So Artemis asks, or Abstract asks, isn't Sundial cheap enough for the buyback? I mean, technically, yes, it's cheap enough. Potentially what the management is doing is they're potentially waiting for Sundial to get on an uptrend, because they want to get Sundial above $1 before February. So they're potentially waiting for an uptrend to start and to get us close to $1, and they might want to use the buybacks to continue fueling the fire at that point, continuing to raise Sundial, getting them above $1, and keeping them there for 10 days in a row, which is what they need to regain compliance. So we'll see. We'll see what the management's strategy is on that. I would be shocked if they didn't use the buybacks by February. So we'll see what happens with Sundial if they can get it back up to $1 by then. Hopefully, I think they can. I don't think they should have too much trouble. Obviously, if the markets really start tanking, then that's another story. If the markets really just go down the gutter, that could be bad for all things, not just Sundial, but could be bad for all stocks. So we'll see. We'll see. So looks like the markets are just continuing this little downtrend that they've been on. They haven't done too much, honestly, since they've opened up. In fact, BBIG doing pretty good right before this Tide dividend happens. So we'll see what happens with BBIG. We're starting to move back up. I think that it might still be somewhat heavily shorted. Let me pull that up. I've not looked at BBIG in a bit. So let's see. Vinco Ventures. It's decently shorted. Yeah, it's a fairly high short interest, actually. You can see right here, BBIG has a 21% short interest as a percentage of the free float, 26 million shares just about. So BBIG, not doing too good short interest-wise, but some shorts might be getting pushed around a little bit as this Tide dividend comes out. I think it's the 27th they said it was going to happen on. But for those of you who don't know, BBIG, I'll pull up a link to it, but it's a company that is doing a dividend where they're spinning off another company. Called, going by the ticker symbol TYDE. Let me see if I can find something. Let's see. Okay, no, we don't want an SEC filing. We want... Okay. So, it's a spin-off. No. We're not finding anything good. An Abstract has to head out, so we'll see us tomorrow. All right, Abstract. Have a good one, man. Have a good one. And Gary the Goldfish says, end-of-year sell-off. Okay, so here we've got the poll. We've got 42 votes in the poll. And it says, have you seen Spider-Man No Way Home? 12% of people have seen it. So we're looking at, what? 5 people, I think. I think 5 people out of those 40 have seen it. So overall, really not that many have seen Spider-Man No Way Home. So we've still got a lot of AMC revenue to be building up. AMC's still got a lot of revenue as people go to the theater to see it, if people are going to go to see it at AMC, maybe. But we're not finding too much good stuff about this Cryptide dividend. I wanted a page... Here we go, actually. Here we go. Here's something. So, November 8th, Vinco Ventures announced the filing of a Form 10 registration. So, basically, they're throwing off... Here we go. So, the Form 10 includes detailed information about Cryptide, which is the company that will go by the ticker symbol TYDE, including historical financial information as well as the business strategy, risk factors, and legal and financial disclosures. Distribution ratio in the spinoff is 1 share of Cryptide common stock for every 10 shares of Vinco common stock. So if you have 1,000 shares of Vinco Ventures or BBIG, then you'll receive 100 shares of Cryptide TYDE. So we're expecting a number of outstanding shares of Cryptide to be about 19 million. All right. And it's just a cool type of dividend that I think this is the first of its kind. I don't know if anyone's ever done a company spin-off dividend before, but it's pretty darn cool. Basically, if you own BBIG by the date of record for this dividend, then you'll get a new company, TYDE, in your portfolio. So that'll be cool. You know, I'm almost tempted just to buy 100 shares of it, just to see what the process is like. I mean, it sounds pretty darn cool. It sounds like a weird something that could really make your taxes a little difficult if they've never dealt with this before. So potentially I don't want to deal with it, but it sounds like a hassle during tax time. I don't know what you would do. How do you report gaining a new company as a dividend? It seems strange. I mean, and Max Pierce says DWAC background 51. Yeah, we did just get an upshoot. It looks like potentially people have heard about this breaking news that Trump is suing the New York Attorney State General. So here we go. Trump sues New York Attorney General Letitia James to block company PROG. So I don't know if this is actually what's making DWAC rally, but it is some interesting Trump news. So James is conducting a civil probe of the Trump Organization, focusing on where the company has misstated the value of real estate assets to obtain favorable loan and insurance rates while lowering its tax obligations. Okay, so... All right, so let's see. Trump alleges that James's mission is guided solely by political animus and a desire to harass, intimidate, and retaliate against a private citizen who she views as a political opponent. All right, so we'll see. And the suit reportedly argues that the investigation violates Trump's constitutional rights. So we'll see what ends up going on with that lawsuit. It doesn't have much to do with DWAC, but it is an interesting lawsuit nevertheless. So maybe it'll have some kind of an effect. Obviously, if it turns out poorly for Trump, then it wouldn't be good for DWAC. If it turns out well, I mean, maybe it could be slightly beneficial for DWAC. It's tough to say if that kind of news is going to have much of an effect on the stock price. It's not the most impactful news. I'll say that. It's not the most impactful. But Man, SPY just keeps going on this pattern, up and down, up and down, up and down, but continuously making slightly lower lows, it looks like. Just barely, or actually, last time it looks like we just topped off. We hit the bottom of $452.54. So, Squirrely B says, I'm buying more Sundial today, and the order is at 55 cents. Cross your fingers. We're a little bit away from 55 cents. We'd have to go pretty low, considering where we are. We'd have to drop a bit. We could do it, though. We certainly could. It's not impossible for Sundial to drop that much. It's happened before. All of a sudden, you just start seeing red. And then before you know it, Sundial is 10 cents cheaper. So it's possible we could get it that cheap. Hopefully not. But, at this point, I'm ready, I think, for Sundial to start running. What I want is for AMC to get a little bit cheaper so I can grab some more of that. But, I would grab some more Sundial if it did drop down to around the 53-cent level again. I'd grab some more. I like buying it up there. I think that's a good place to average down to. So we'll see what we can get over the next couple of days, if we end up getting the Christmas rally or not. But it looks like, as of the poll results, not too many people have seen the new Spider-Man movie, so y'all have to go see that. I've heard it's really good. One of my friends saw it. I've heard it's really good. Worth seeing. So it's worth checking out. I'm looking forward to doing that tomorrow. So finally, I'll get to go and see Spider-Man No Way Home. Because we've been waiting for that for a while. We've been waiting for a real Marvel movie for a long time. I mean, I don't count the 10 Rings. I didn't like 10 Rings that much. Black Widow was okay. It wasn't great. And I haven't seen Marvel Eternals yet. So I would like to see that, but I haven't seen it yet. So we'll see. We'll see if we end up going to the theater. Probably not going to the theater for it, I'll admit. Probably not doing that, but whenever it comes out, for real, I'll watch it. So Kitchener Leslie said, I heard Kevin Spacey is on trial, but they're using his full legal name to keep it hidden. Interesting. I did not know. I didn't know that. I don't know. I also don't know, too. I've heard of Kevin Spacey, of course. Let's see if I recognize him. Yeah, he looks kind of familiar. He was in House of Cards. Okay. All right. Let's see what else he was in. He's in 21. He's in a lot of stuff that I haven't seen. Whole lot of stuff I haven't seen. But yeah, that's interesting. I've definitely heard of Kevin Spacey, but haven't kept up with him too much, honestly. So let's give crypto another look. Let's see what's going on with crypto. It's looking like it's starting to move down just a touch. Unfortunately, we're starting to see a little bit more red with Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're getting close to that 46,000, which we were below earlier. We managed to regain it. We'll see what happens with it, but where did Shiba Inu go? Down 8%. So it's really, of all the cryptos, Shiba Inu is looking like the one that's potentially falling the most. Of all the major cryptos, at least, it's potentially going to get hurt the most. It was definitely hyped up the most. It's still up massively from where it was. If only we could draw it on this. But, it's tough to even say what the price is when you're dealing with this amount of decimal places. 0.00, how much was it? 0.00071 cents. Or $71, I guess. And now it's trading at $0.000029. So, interesting. So, yeah, I'm a little worried about Shiba Inu. And Max Pierce says, I think the only superhero movie I've enjoyed in a long time was the Sin City movie. I can't say I've even watched Sin City. I've heard of Sin City, but I haven't watched it, so that's interesting. I didn't even know that was a superhero movie. It didn't sound like one from the sound from Sin City, but I guess it is. Dogecoin not doing great. Continuing to fall, down about 5% on the day. We're struggling to hold on to 16 cents. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Dogecoin. We were definitely hitting 16 cents a couple of times last night, around 4, and then 8, and then around 9:30 we were down very close to 16. So we've recovered a little bit, But overall, it's looking like the markets are falling quite a bit. I mean, DWAC getting pushed down below 50 bucks. SPY testing this level again. And it looks like we just made lows of the trading day on SPY. Sundial starting to slow down its rise and actually potentially start a little bit of a trend down. And AMC over the past couple of minutes has been moving down too. So it's not looking great for the markets, I'll say. The VIX is up. If you were in the VIX yesterday, or on Friday, I should say, if you were in the VIX, if you were on an options play on the VIX, then you're in the green. You're in the green by quite a bit. And David Amer just made some money on SOPA. Nice. It did just dump. That's awesome. So where? It halted, and then it kind of stayed stagnant for a little bit. It started looking a little worrying around here, and then it started dumping. Yeah, there we go. David Amer's in a short position on SOPA, so maybe he's going to make some money off of this, hopefully. What was the news on it, by the way? I meant to check the news. Oh, okay. So it's going to be added to the Russell's 2000. Okay, so as it was added to the Russells, it soared. And then some of the original investors, it looks like, were able to sell out. Maybe some traders were buying in on the expectation that it would keep rising. So that's interesting to see. Look at that. So we just saw massive volume on this. Absolutely massive volume. I mean, being added to the Russells is definitely going to add some more liquidity to SOPA. So it could be good for it over the long term, but awesome sale of it. Awesome short of it. That's really good. You said 831. That was an awesome sale. So look at that. Made some money on Society Pass. Could be good over the long term, but oh wow, it's definitely been doing better in the past. It was up to 77 bucks. I mean, whew. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, crazy stuff. Most volume we've ever seen now that it's in the Russells. So who knows? It might be doing good. It might be doing good. It might be doing good. And PTN, says Juicy Trades. We'll take a peek at PTN real quick. Looks like we're getting close to the end of the stream. So PTN, Palatine Technologies, Inc., trading at 52 cents. It's, what is this, an over-the-counter? Is this, no, I guess it's a real one. NASDAQ listed. Okay, so it looks like it's not been doing too much over the past couple of days. But way back in November, it ended up soaring up to almost $1. In fact, it probably hit $1. Okay. So what happened on the 24th? An analyst upgrade? Okay. And great earnings, it's a strong buy, they say. All right. So, yeah, it's a bit of a hype play, maybe. But analysts have raised their price target on it, and it has responded. So yeah, this could be a good one. Maybe it could. It's still pretty darn cheap. But I will say a lot of these cheaper stocks, these smaller market cap stocks, have just been getting beaten down and down and down throughout most of 2021. Right? They soared in the beginning, and then it just started getting pushed and pushed and pushed. And it looks like this one just popped off on an analyst upgrade. So maybe in 2022 we could start to see some of those projections come true. I think they said what was the price target that they had on this? I think they said they raised their price target from $2 to $5. So that would be a pretty big gain on this stock if it managed to actually happen. That would be very cool to see PTN moving that high. I mean, that would be what, a 10x. It's not guaranteed. Obviously, the analysts are just they might be right, they might be wrong. But this is an interesting one to watch. And if you're holding it, then congratulations. You certainly made some money when it bounced from 33 to $1. So good job, anyone holding that. But it is 10:30, guys, so we're going to end the stream. It was a little bit of a red day today. We've seen worse days. And I apologize if I was a little tired. I am exhausted. It was a long weekend. I did not get a ton of sleep last night, so I was a little tired today. I need to catch up. So I'm potentially going to try to get to bed early tonight because I know the night after that I'm going to be watching Spider-Man Far From No Way Home. So have a good one, guys. We'll see you in the next one. We'll see you tomorrow at 9 sharp. Hopefully I'll be there on time. But other than that, have a good one. I'll see you guys tomorrow.